Hi there, everybody. Okay, it wouldn't be a live Instagram event if there was not technical difficulty. So I'm trying this all over again. But yeah, so welcome back to another episode of Get to Know Us, and this time it is with Qween Paz. Earlier this month, we celebrated the 1 year anniversary of Hold On Up, which is their single, and they are also working on a new album, so we're going to bring them on to talk about Hold On Up and also their new album. And then tomorrow we are going to have a listening party on our Discord, and we'll be listening to Hold On Up along with Iz's new album, which releases tomorrow, called Light Play. So that's at 8:30 in 8:30 p.m. in our Discord. And if you haven't had a chance yet to listen to Hold On Up, then you're really missing out. So I hope you go to our Bandcamp and check it out, and or go to Qween Paz's Bandcamp. You can get it there both ways, and definitely support them. They are really talented, and I'm just really excited to bring them on, which I'm going to do now. Hey,
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
how you doing? I swear, like, it was so bizarre. I could, there was like a film over the Instagram, like, and it wouldn't let me like accept anything or do anything. It was so bizarre. That never happened to me before.
At the perfect time, I feel like Instagram just fit.
Every time I'm on, this happens. Anyway, but yeah. How have you been doing?
I've been pretty good. Right now, I've just been like taking some time from work. I've been like on a leave of absence, so and it's like
Good for you.
yeah, uh, to be determined when I'm gonna go back to work because I don't know if I'm gonna like start doing something else. Um, I'm
Yeah.
about like trying to like join a farm for like a month, do like an internship where I'm gonna be like farm uh
Wow.
and learn
That sounds really.
yeah, learn how to like do stuff for the first time. Like
Wow, that's really cool. Is that going to happen in Texas, or are you going someplace else?
I'm looking for I've been applying to this like homestead that's in Seguin, and that's like 40 minutes away from where I'm at in San Antonio. North.
Wow. That sounds really cool. Just out of curiosity, what drove you to do that? Like, what's your, yeah.
I know because like I've never been like I've always like wanted to do something like outside, but like I didn't honestly like I've never been one to like know how to like grow my own vegetables and like raise animals and stuff like that. But the person that I'm dating right now, like they're really into that type of thing, and
Yeah.
they have they have like a history, or their family is involved in that in farming and stuff like that. They were like they like grew up basically with with that type of knowledge and like with family that knew how to do stuff like that. So they really kind of just like inspired me to look into that. And
Yeah.
I'm just interested in like looking into like a new path.
Yeah.
We'll see about the farming. And,
Yeah, see how it goes. I mean, that's the best way to like figure out if you like a certain type of position, is just really having an opportunity to try it. So
mhm.
that's amazing. I can't wait to hear how that goes. That's really cool.
Yeah,
I I am not a green thumb. I have like, I don't know what my thumb is. It's like brown, I guess. It's like down. I have no idea. I do not have a green thumb, but I'm sure you can learn those things though. And like I feel like I would benefit from just learning how to take care of plants in general. Like I it seems like every time I have a plant, even like I had a Christmas cactus for years and years, and then it did finally die. It's just like I never can seem to keep anything, even like easy stuff, like
yeah.
like a cactus alive.
I need to take care of it because they don't. It's 'cause they hoard all their water, right?
Yeah. Um, I actually cut out a little bit, but I think you said like succulents and like cactuses like hold.
Yeah,
I think that's what you were saying.
water.
Yeah, so they should be easy to take care of, like, because I'm the big one for forgetting to like water, and like it just seems like anytime I've ever grown, I like one time grew tomatoes outside, and then like that was a disaster too. I think like I just like I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, anyway, moving on. Moving on to that. Yeah, so let's
Random that. Just kidding.
so I always like to ask, I'm always interested in when people first got into music as a listener, and if there was like a first favorite album or song or whatever it is that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. I've always been into music since I was a little baby. So I think or no, I know that my first album that I ever bought was like Kelly Clarkson.
Oh yeah?
Like been like fresh out of American Idol, like when she was just popping. That was my first concert and like my first like record that I ever purchased as a little kid.
Wow. That's that's cool. That's cool though. I mean, yeah, I actually like can't even think of any of her songs, but I do know who she is. From I guess from American Idol or whatever. But that's cool. Were you like a big American Idol like watcher? Is that even on still? Like I don't even know.
It actually is so surprising. I never really liked that show. Well, I guess I mean I used to watch it like everybody would watch probably anything that was popular on TV. And then when that was first coming out, that was yeah, I feel like I liked it because it was just really popular. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's cool. That's cool.
I can't right now. I've had people like come up to me and be like, "Oh, you could sing, so well. Why don't you ever like try to do The Voice or American Idol?" And I'm like, I cannot stand those shows. They're so sad. The
Yeah.
so sad. Like you have to go in front of these judges and just have them judge you based off of, like a 20 to 30, like 22
Yeah.
audition. And I mean, but that is how like the music world be working. It's just like it's not the
Yeah.
music path that I'm trying to go down. Just like be connected to these people that are gonna like get me in an industry and create a sound and do all that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like a different thing too. I think that's mainly probably for, like if people really are trying to be like a pop star, I guess, or whatever. And plus, like, do people generally write music who are on the show? I don't even know. Like, I know like you write music, so it's like I guess you could do. I don't think anybody does their own songs on those shows, do they? I don't even know.
They like mostly audition with just like covers and then like
Yeah,
we'll be like songwriters and it's like wow,
yeah.
that's a plus. That's a big
Yeah, I mean, it probably is like if you get a break, then it is a good path for getting into like the pop music or like trying to be a popular musician or whatnot. But
Mhm.
yeah, not that's not everybody's thing. Like I can see why you wouldn't want to pursue that path. But yeah,
And I almost
um,
did, but like it just like didn't align with there was like some drama that actually like stopped it from happening. Even
oh wow,
friend had gotten me in everything, like I was gonna have this
oh
exclusive little VIP audition with like this Columbia Records and
oh wow.
it all went away. But it was just like, it definitely wasn't meant for me. And then I don't really
Yeah,
care too much about, I mean, it would have been, possibly like a great opportunity for my music,
sure. I
whatever.
mean, you have an amazing voice, so I could totally see you being on those kind of shows, even and winning for sure. But like, yeah, and we'll get when we get into like talking about the music industry and stuff like that, it's like, do you want to be chewed up and spit out? And like, I don't even know. Like, I feel like that's kind of like that's the route that seems to be like, I don't know. I don't know what. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but it seems like a rough road. Even if you did make it, I don't know.
Yeah, it's really,
Is that really what you want? Is that really like that wouldn't be something I would want, but I can't begrudge somebody if that's what they do want either,
Yeah, I was into American Idol back then. Really?
Yeah, we're going off on like tangents in the farming, and now we're in America. Anyway, that's nice. It's good. It's good. So when did you start getting into? I could see you were probably singing your whole life, probably since you could. But like getting into, yeah, tell us about that, and just even like when you started, um, writing your own music and like how that happened.
Yeah, so like I grew up with a family that was kind of already like in music. My mom would sing a lot, and my dad was he was like he's really popular. I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas originally. Like I was born there, raised there till like high school. So it's a small kind of town, and there's not a lot of black people, but my dad like he was just so popular there. Um, especially like with his work and stuff. Like everybody in the city knows him, black or Hispanic. And my mom sang, and my dad would like connect with other people to like get her shows. So he was kind of like her agent in a way.
Mm.
And like when I was a little baby, like they would have me on stage, they would bring me up on stage and like put me to the mic, like
Oh wow, that's so cool.
they're gonna do something. I don't know. But yeah, so I was already like exposed to like that audience and that like party type of vibe that like, you know, and then every single time that we'd be traveling, my mom would just like crank up, the volume in the car, and we'd be singing and belting. And she would have me on like Patti LaBelle, like Anita Baker, Sade. Like I grew up with those like pop R&B artists that like were singing about love, and like I'm just this little baby, like singing about all this heartbreak and love, and
Yeah.
but still like playing along with the notes, like still like developing my ear, or yeah, like I was developing my ear at such a young age for like these big like powerful notes. And so like I've always
Cool.
been like that, but like I got into music, like really got into like understanding like music notes and stuff like that, playing music, when I played French horn in like middle school and high school.
Oh, cool.
It was like,
That is so cool. You play the French horn.
yeah, technically it's the hardest brass instrument.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to
Do you
like
still play? Do you still play?
I really wish, but I moved on to trumpet just because it's like it's cheaper to,
Oh, cool. Okay.
yeah. And
Love the trumpet.
yeah, my friend just gave me her trumpet, so I ended up using that for some of my songs and perform with that when I started writing.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so yeah, I was like doing that for until like college, the middle of my college career, uh,
Hmm.
and that was like a huge ass part of my life, like marching band. Um,
Yeah.
Competing to in groups and ensembles and solo, and it was just very nerve-wracking. So like, you know it was nerve-wracking, but like it pushed me to like develop this like other side of like understanding music,
Hmm.
composition and stuff like that.
Yeah.
um but then like in the middle of college, like I just kind of just got tired of it.
Yeah.
I feel like,
Of being in band and competitions, you mean? Yeah.
yeah, band and competitions, but like in college I felt like it was more geared towards being like a band director in the future, and I was what
Ah.
I want to do. So I was like, yes, I'm not trying to be a band director. And I kind of felt like the music program just had a lot of band directors in there, and I feel like they're a different type of personality. They're just like they're these really fun like young kids, going off to be, you know, instructing kids in the future. And that's so cute. Like now I think about something like that like 4 or 5 years later after college. Maybe I should go back to school to be a band director, because I would prefer to serve kids rather than like adults right now. It's very exhausting. But yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
set up like in the middle of college, like um and yeah.
When did you start picking up like guitar and stuff like that?
So, okay, yeah. So I was playing guitar also in high school while I was in marching band, but it wasn't like
Okay.
I wasn't thinking about like recording yet or anything. Um, I was just playing along to songs. Like I loved,
Yeah.
uh, once I moved to San Antonio, which was in the middle of high school too, I the music program was a lot better at the school. So they had like a jazz band and they had like all these different types of ensembles. I got really into jazz. San Antonio like has a lot of jazz here. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, like I got really into like bossa nova music and Miles Davis, and I would just like grab the guitar and like play on like one string, just like to those songs.
Yeah.
Would be like so fun, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So when did you start like writing your own songs then too? Like how did that come about?
That came after I like quit marching band. I was like, yeah, I I'm more interested in like producing. I got like really into producing, like not really like recording songs yet, but like producing and then like making beats. Uh,
Yeah.
then I started to like sing on them, and I was like, whoa, this is cool. Like I can make a whole ass song, and
Yeah.
it sounds
Yeah.
real. And so then I
Yeah, that's
that
cool.
and I would like in the middle of college too. Like I was really into like showing up at the protests with my guitar, and
Yeah.
would hit me up and be like, hey, we're having this event going on. Like it would be really cool if you can put a band together and perform or whatever your songs. And
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, I'm down. So I like would arrange for a band, and then like after that it became like solo.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. Well, so tell us a little bit about the Hold On Up song, whatever you want to tell us about it, like how it came about, what it's about. It doesn't you don't have to necessarily tell us what it's about, whatever it is you want to say about it.
I actually always talk about this song before I play it at shows because it's about quitting a job. Like it's about me quitting my job,
Oh,
uh,
cool.
and then been my
It's a
thing.
good thought.
Yeah, good thing.
Good topic.
Good topic. Like
Yeah.
my life every 2 to 3 years, 1 to 2 years maybe. Um, so it's a nice reminder. Yeah, I'm basically just like saying like just talking about how much I feel directionless and I feel lost, and it was after like me having 2 jobs. I had got graduated from school.
Mm.
I had to move back home because just things weren't working with my roommates. I got kicked out by 2 Capricorns.
Oh God. Okay.
I had to like work and save up for an apartment, and I was just like, man, like I I just thought, with all this work that I'm doing or work that I had been doing, I thought my life was going to be different. And
Mm. Yeah.
like, I
Is
thought,
that like a very post-college thing to happen too? It's just sort of like, yeah.
so, so yeah, I was just, jamming on my guitar. It was just like really, it's the same shape of chords, and they're just 3 chords, real simple. And I was just like, it was like I was crying and singing like as I was making that song, just like,
Oh wow.
yeah,
That's great though.
this sucks.
That's how you get the good stuff. That's why the song's so great. It's got all the pain embedded in it.
Sure does. I'm definitely like yelling in that song. Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a great song. And again, you have such an amazing voice. And just like the way you do vocal layering is very cool too. Like I really, really love that. It's always something I'm trying to like work on with my own music with like layering the different vocals, and you really do an amazing job at that. And oh, well, so you're working on a new album. And we're almost done with it. So for those who don't know, I'm like helping Qween Paz. I'm doing some mixing and mastering and some co-production, which is so exciting for me to be able to do that. I just really love your music so much. So it's been a real honor to be able to work on that. And y'all have no idea what you're in for when this finally does get done and comes out. But anything you want to say about that? I think you said that it is your first full album
Hmm.
that you're going to be releasing. Yeah, so whatever you want to tell us about that, as far as like, what that's about, and yeah.
So I feel like all my music is little, I feel like they're always lessons. It's always kind of like a sad topic of conversation, but it's it's always been like something that I have to like go through or overcome, and it gives me like some advice, in between it. I feel like I don't really process and understand it until like years later.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I get that.
so for this one, like for years I had wanted to come out with an album, and I have so many songs to like already, to have already an album, but
Yeah,
I wanted to like have something that was just well thought out, and like the writing was gonna be like all one theme or whatever, just more organized. And
yeah,
that's what I was just stressing out over for years. And that was the reason why I couldn't like come out with an album, because I'm just like, just make myself anxious over trying to construct something that's just, you know, way better than um way better than what I've done before. But I feel like
yeah,
that was like my perspective before, and like now it's just like, no, I just gotta literally do it. Like I gotta just put
yeah.
this together at this point, because you know life is just so fast. And like I'm just like super proud of myself for actually putting this together now.
Yeah, yeah. It's really something. It's great. And it's kind of funny because I've had multiple people ask me if, oh, is that song that they did at the Grammys, the Winter Showcase, going to be on the album? And I'm like, no. Just as an example of you having like so many songs, but like, yeah, like I'm like, no, that one won't be, but maybe you'll get that another time.
Yeah.
But you will love what you're gonna get.
Yeah. uh,
Yeah.
so many like songs in this like vault, this like really unorganized vault on my laptop.
Right.
The
Well,
plethora.
that's awesome because it's like you'll go through them later, and at some point maybe you'll like be like, oh, maybe I should release these, or maybe you'll be like, oh, I'm gonna redo this one, make it different. Like it's always good to have like, I don't know, stuff to look back on that you haven't shared, because I've been like slowly sharing like old stuff that I've had recorded over time and never really shared with anyone. But sometimes when you're in it, you're just not ready to put it out there or share it with other people, or you feel like it's not ready, or but then at some other time it's going to come to you, and you're going to have like all this stuff that you can play, revisit, which I think is really cool to be able to have that as like a musician, like just working on stuff all the time and just kind of, sitting with it or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also think like as an artist too, like I think it's important to like, yeah, just like keep some things for yourself too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And then like you were saying, sometimes when you're writing stuff, you're kind of putting like these emotions and things that you haven't really processed, and because I feel like that's very I do the same thing, like, so but then like you don't even like, then like years later, a year or two or three or whatever later, or even a decade later, it's like it all means something completely, like you see something in it that you hadn't really figured out at the time that you actually did it. So that's really cool about music. And
Hmm.
you know yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very
um
can't mess with the music.
Yeah, and I didn't. My memory is so bad, but like I can't remember if you were interested in showing us your setup, or if you were like, nah, I can't remember. I can't remember. I'm so sorry.
No, 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 no. Yeah, I was down. I set it up.
Okay, cool. I thought so. I was just like, well, let me ask. I give you an out. give you an out in case you weren't, because I, I totally couldn't remember. I've been doing these with different people, and
I
they
know.
they
We have
start to
another
jumble
one
my
with
conver.
Virgo number today, right?
I do. I have one with Burko later. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So excited. Yeah, no, this I'm gonna turn this around.
Okay,
I
cool.
was using my VHS tapes and DVDs to like hold up the phone.
VHS. Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. You have a VHS collection?
Yeah. I was watching
Look
my
at that old tape. Look at that.
yeah, no, this is my baby video from when I was born.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Wow,
know.
that is a gift.
And since my birthday's like tomorrow, I was like
That's right. Your
trying to
birthday
remind
is
myself.
tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is
Well, happy birthday in advance, but I will definitely be sending out vibes again tomorrow.
yes.
Look, okay,
Gracias.
cool. Look at that. So what is all this? Tell us about some of this equipment or what
Yeah.
you've used.
Yeah. Okay. So I have these big old screens here just because like my work, whatever. So I have to
Yeah,
like I put all my stuff on top of here. Once I get off of work, I'm like, let me just scoot everything off. Just throw everything off and put my music stuff
yeah.
so I could do some music. So yeah, here's my laptop, and this is my little keyboard that I used to make beats on.
Cool,
This is my USB mic. That's where all the
cool.
magic happens. My
I
lyric
love you
book.
got the handwritten notebook. Yes, yes.
I use this guy for. I use this guy for my guitar when I'm recording.
Okay,
Little Yamaha
cool. Oh
Dusty
wow.
MV.
Yeah, my stuff's always got.
Yeah.
What 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 program do you use to record on your computer? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so this is right now. I use mostly just GarageBand.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Cool. I love when people are using things like that because this GarageBand, like, I
Hella
don't know too
free.
much about it. Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say. You know, that's great because I feel like a lot of times people feel like, you know, oh, I'm not a real musician if I'm using like Audacity or GarageBand or something. It's like, no, 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 no.
I
Like,
know.
so you all know that like Qween Paz makes awesome music and
On
is
Garage.
doing it with GarageBand, so you can too.
Oh yeah, and then
Um,
all I do is just like I'll do a free trial of Logic just to like download the stems if I'm gonna send it to people. That's the only
oh, I see.
that's the
Yeah,
only
yeah.
way I do that. And yeah, so
Cool.
I also have this mic. There's my stack of guitars.
Oh, wow. Look at those beautiful. Well, so what's your favorite? Like, what's the one you use most of the time, or do you use all of them, or?
This was my guy for years.
Oh, cool.
Has all the stickers as well. I would yeah, I had this one for like hmm, I'm definitely like gonna say over 5 years. I
Okay, cool. And what is it? I can't tell. I
It's
can't
a
tell because I'm.
Squire.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Squire Bullet Strat.
Cool.
And this is my new one that I've been
Cool.
taking to shows. Has some cool stickers. I like this one. I like this one of a landscape.
Oh, cool. What is that of? Like, what?
I'm not too sure. I just found it in my house. But
Okay, cool.
mountains. It looks like
Yeah.
um traveling through North Texas to maybe like Colorado. That's what that would look like.
Yeah, that does look like that. And what kind of
Good
guitar
work.
is that? Like I can't tell if I'm looking. I'm like I'm not one of those people who can be like, oh, that's a such and such such. Like
No,
okay,
yeah, no,
cool.
me either. Oh my, what the
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Telecaster.
It's pretty. I love the color though, the turquoise color, the pale, the mint. I guess they call
Yeah,
that mint,
this color has
mint
been
green.
following me. Even my bed is this color.
Yeah, look at
Like,
that. Hey, we got the matchy thing going on.
right? Even my phone case, like, yeah, this color has definitely been following me. Um, yeah, I wonder what that means, but mint,
Yeah,
like a
that's awesome.
greenish blue.
Um, yeah, so and let me ask you, like, so what do you, I mean, we talked about it a little bit already, but like, are there like specific influences that, it doesn't have to be necessarily music, but you did mention some musicians, but like, yeah, any kind of influences that you wanted to talk about, then again, doesn't have to necessarily be music influences, for your music in general, or even if you wanted to mention for like the new album you're working on.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I don't want to give away what's gonna be
Okay.
the album, but I'll like
Well,
like
we can revisit it later.
we'll revisit that later. You'll definitely see.
Yeah.
But okay, I guess like for this album, uh, I would say I've been kind of inspired by um just like the journey of archiving my family and like learning about the history of my people and the relationship they had with the land. I feel like that has definitely influenced this album. Um, Growing up in a border town like Corpus Christi, um, and then growing up queer in a really Christian city, small town,
Mm,
has really
yeah.
influenced the writing in this album. Feeling like I belong here, but like at the same time,
Mm,
hard to belong here.
yeah.
Like I don't belong here. Um,
Yeah.
has influenced the album. So that type of mentality, if you can.
Yeah. Yeah. And is there anything that you're listening to now that you wanted to mention? It's okay if you don't. Just
I
throwing that out
Yeah,
there.
right now, like just because there's so much going on in the world, like I used to have to research new music, like because I used
Hmm.
to DJ, uh,
Yeah.
and have like a radio show and stuff, and it brought me so much joy to just like crate dig like that, like all over the internet and everywhere.
Yeah.
But like right now, I just feel like my mental health, like I haven't like really been keeping up with artists or like looking for artists or anything like that. So
Yeah.
kind of like going back to my old music, but just allowing myself to be open to like all different languages, like a lot of cumbia. I've been listening to a lot of cumbia, and alt Spanish music, just like everything right now. But I feel like due to like my mental health, I'm not keeping up with the type of music
Yeah.
I'm listening
Yeah, that's okay.
to.
Yeah, it's hard. These are tough times too, but also like, I mean, I'm always listening to music, but it does kind of come in ebb and flow. Sometimes it's just I don't have any, I can't do anything but listen to just Grimalkin stuff that I'm working on rather than even try and I have a tendency to listen to like a lot of older stuff too. I'm not really great with keeping up with new music either. But yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about so with Grimalkin we do mutual aid, and typically our tape releases usually support like a local nonprofit or grassroots organization or mutual aid organization that's doing you know more community based type work. And you so graciously are going to be donating the tape proceeds back to Grimalkin when you release your album. And I was just curious if you could talk a little bit about why you chose to do that, because you certainly did not need to do that. And yeah.
Yeah, but like I love the fact that we're just such a like transparent label. We're like um just we're really upfront about like what type of services we're going to be able to help each other with, and like where the money's going towards all the fundraising that we're doing. But like it's just, I mean, it's just so badass that I got connected to y'all because y'all are, it feels like a family. Like it feels like really supportive. It feels really safe to just like you know just explain what's going on with you and your music, um, we're really close. Like we, our hangouts are just like we're all friends talking about like how we want to, like move ourselves forward and just like expand and help other people, queer people, trans people, and I love that. Yeah, I love that so.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. That like this makes me feel really good about what we're doing and that we're on the right path. And that artists that we're working with are really like feeling that way, like that. I that just that's great. Well, we really appreciate. I mean, I really personally appreciate you and that you're part of Grimalkin. I mean, I just absolutely do love your music and your voice and everything. And so it's just really great. And just to have this opportunity to like work on your album with you has been really amazing. And I'm just really grateful for that opportunity. And I'm really excited about it. It's going to be.
Like with everything that like you're doing, like I know you're so busy. Like I know you're so busy, and I
Oh,
still help out with my mixing and mastering, and I I just really appreciate you and thank you for that.
oh, it's an honor. Like, yeah, and getting to like do some production stuff with you too is just like, well, it's great. It's just so exciting to like collaborate like that too. Is just really cool. So I love doing stuff like that. And there's like, yeah, I'm busy, but like there's certain things that I'm always gonna like make time and room for because it's important to me too to like help with stuff like that. And your music is just so cool. So just getting like I'm not gonna turn down a chance to like work with Qween Paz. Like that's not gonna happen. you know? So I appreciate I appreciate that and I mean that sincerely. Um yeah, so okay, so kind of going down like a little bit of a darker turn, just talking again about the music industry. Like we touched on it a little bit at the beginning with the like pop stuff and the with American Idol and things like that, but like yeah, there's a lot of things that could really be changed within music. It's just a very exploitive um system. There's so many things that are happening that really kind of put artists at the bottom. So anyway, I wanted to see what your views were and if there's something in particular that you really feel needs to change and anything you had to say about that.
Yeah, I feel like it would just help the situation out if, just capitalism.
Or, yeah,
um,
burn it all down.
I feel like there is like a really weird gap where it's like when I got in the like music industry, like started recording and writing my own stuff, like I got into it because everybody around me was so supportive of that idea. And like, it was like support, giving support, receiving it, amongst like my friends and stuff. And so like, I wish like that energy like would have stayed just because, once I like moved and wasn't around my friends as much, like I was trying to make friends again because I wanted that like feeling of like support.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's like this gap like between, you know, between artists, especially in like maybe big cities,
Hmm.
where it's just like they can see maybe like they want to help, but like they don't, try to support you or whatever. I just wish that like we were just, yeah, like more supportive of each other and each other's like, like giving each other space to like experiment and just encouraging that amongst each other, especially like general like older generation people that have been doing music that are queer and
Yeah.
you and I just wish that there was like more of like a bridge between us.
Yeah. More people stepping up to be supportive and be a role model for that too, I think is really important. And yeah, I mean, I'm hoping obviously in one tiny small way, like Grimalkin can kind of hopefully as more people learn about it, would inspire people to do more things where there are trying to create communities like, of support more in collaboration as opposed to I feel like the music industry is very like competitive. Like there's always this like we're competing, and it's not. there's more of that, like pinning people against each other, and like,
Mhm.
even like pop musicians having like beefs with each other over like dumb stuff, and like that kind of thing is like very, I guess that sells stuff, so that's why
Yeah.
it's advertised or whatever, but like,
Quietness of like you having that jealousy, like it would be cool if like we could just all have this space to like talk about towards each other, or that like
yeah,
competitiveness, that like, if, it would be great if like we had more space to talk about that, just because it is super normal for everybody to feel like that.
yeah,
But it's just like, we need to have those conversations in order to do something about it. And like, yeah, I just wish we had like more space to talk about the envy that we have towards each other, because it's healthy. It's sad though, like we're not supposed to like really have that, but this world is created, you know, to sell things.
yeah.
And so that's
But I mean, like, I
catalyst.
think yeah, yeah. I mean, I think like people need to have more examples though of being like, I think like you can be like jealous or something in a way where it like inspires you to want to up your game or something. But it gets to be a bad thing when it's like you're trying to like backstab or like undermine and like that kind of stuff. I feel like we need to celebrate more when we're seeing people like uphold each other, and like you can be competitive but still be positive. But I mean, I always feel like collaboration is better than competitiveness, but like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, having the conversation about it is important, I think. So are you thinking like you would want to hold space for like people to say like collectively, like, so like say within Grimalkin, for example, like if artists got together and they were like, we were talking about um like what we admire about each other, even if it is a little bit like you're saying, like you might feel like somebody you wish you could do this like somebody, or is that, I don't know. I'm just asking you like ideas to expand on this idea.
Yeah, yeah, just having conversations with each other. Like, yeah, I'm actually jealous about this. Um, and then I feel like the other person, that does have whatever over anybody else, could either, hold space too, and like share, ways in which that person can be helped to where they're motivated as well, or
Yeah.
it just feels good, like just talking about it in general, like just getting it out. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if there's something we could do, like even just for obviously we can't deal with the world, but we can, within Grimalkin we have like our Discord. It might be kind of cool if we had like a channel like where we could maybe like promote those kinds of conversations with each other. I don't know. Yeah. Or even
yeah,
like we're
like
doing those
would
month.
find, or what,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, that like the other person may feel jealous too, and be like, oh, okay, like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah.
you're you're great at songwriting, so like then a collaboration could possibly.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I totally could see that happening. Yeah, I should try to I'm gonna talk to Anna about like maybe we can make like a specific little channel for those kind. Well, we have a collaboration channel in there. But like yeah, I don't know. Um or like I forget what it's called. We have a channel though in there, like something like when you're looking to collaborate with people, but yeah, I mean, I think that's cool. And what I was gonna say was like we do these monthly like hangouts. We have like a hangout once a month, and then we have like the business meeting once a month that anybody can come to.
Mhm.
But like yeah, for like the hangout, that might even be an opportunity, depending on who shows up. We could like have a conversation like that about each other, because I do think you're right. Like I bet you people are like, oh, I love this about this person, and it feels good to hear that, from your peers, and then also be like, oh wait a minute, I actually admire that, or a little jealous of that, or whatever. And I could see that happening like within those situations. But anyway, um, yeah, yeah. Well, you'll have to, if we do one, if you come to one next, we'll try to like get that going.
That's all. big ass theme in this album is like jealousy. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's definitely like a lesson that I've been wrestling with. Um, Also, since doing music too, like putting out my music, like posting it and recording it, and yeah, like performing it live. Like it's been a journey with that. That's been like the biggest, a big, yeah, probably like the biggest barrier in that in my music career.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, jealousy is like, it can be a good thing if you can recognize when you're feeling it and not let it turn into darkness, and like, and because actually I think it can really be a positive thing when you start to feel that negativity in yourself about something, if you try to examine it, and like it can actually lead to like a lot of positivity, and like you, like I said, you being motivated to like, make changes if you need to, or learn something, or like you said, even being able to have that conversation with that person. That's not always like a possibility, like depending on what you're jealous of or who you're jealous of. But it's I think that's really cool that you're like examining it. And I mean, I think that's like the most important thing. There's probably not enough people who have, everybody gets jealous, or about things, but like to really sit back and examine like where that's coming from, that's not something that enough people do, I don't think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what leads to a lot of like bullshit and awfulness. So, yeah, it's really cool though, actually, that we're talking about it. Yeah, it's got me thinking. Sorry. So now I'm like babbling because my brain is like thinking this stuff, juggling it around. But anyway, I guess that really wasn't so dark anyway that we talked about that. But kind of bringing it. Oh, I know one thing we had talked about before, like separately, like privately, before we did this interview, was you were also kind of related to that. I think you were talking about support in your community and like how much different um, the different cities are. I don't know if there was anything
Yeah.
else you wanted to speak on that, because I think like you said you live really close to like Austin too, which is like a really you
Mhm.
know big music community. So I didn't know if there was anything you wanted to mention about like the different areas in Texas, or that you've like, yeah. I, I can't even remember exactly what we were talking about, but I remember it was interesting. So I wanted to bring it back up.
No, yeah, I was just like trying to say that when I had started music, I had started in college. I was going to school at Texas State, and so I was living in the city of San Marcos, which is real close to Austin. Um,
Yeah.
and I know that like Austin is not diverse, but it does have like this openness to experimental artists. It's in some ways they may want to exploit it, and then in some ways they're trying to support it. They have a community
Mm,
about
I
it.
see. Yeah. I don't know too much really about it, about Austin at all, really. So,
Austin's like a little Texas in LA. It was like a little Texas.
okay. Yeah.
Ing has their own business, their own hustle. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, when I started doing music, like it was because I had like so many supportive people in the community that I was in the community in San Marcos. And when I moved to San Antonio, like it being a military town too, it being like relatively conservative, because of that, I think like, and then it also being bigger because it's a big old city. That it felt really lonely trying to be an artist over here when I moved from San Marcos to San Antonio. Um,
Yeah.
there were a lot of older artists. Like there was older artists, there was younger artists. But it just felt like we were not like even though we're like all possibly like doing the same event, like we weren't really supporting each
Connected.
other. Yeah, like we weren't really
Yeah.
part of each other's art like the way I was used to back at school.
Yeah.
So I just felt like really alone, and I felt like people would like offer to collaborate, but then they like the connection just wasn't ever like there. We weren't. It never
Yeah.
felt like it just fell through all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes there would be drama, and sometimes it would just be we just stopped talking.
Yeah.
like me too, but I just didn't feel like that. I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel like, yeah, I just didn't feel like the connection was real between like a lot of people here when I moved. So
Mm.
I wish that like, if I also want to work better on like being more connected to support younger people trying to do art, to younger queer people, Black people, like doing art,
Yeah.
and like just being as expressive themselves, and weird as possible. And then like I just wish that like older to our age, I mean, I'm already getting older too, like so I'm already part of that group. Or like more connected just in general like that, especially
Yeah.
in bigger cities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so usually I like to ask folks towards the end, it's just sort of if you have any kind of like words of wisdom that you wanted to share that you haven't mentioned, or even just like a hopes for yourself or in general for the future that you wanted to share before we wrap
Yeah,
it up.
yeah, just like I want us all, me included, like to work on being better for the land. Um, and whatever you like extract from the land, if you just like give it back in any way, whether it be like a prayer or like some sort of a offering, um, just because like our world is like it's gonna want to like push us back. It's gonna want to like push us out. There's like a reaction to everything that we do on this
Yeah.
land. So if we could just treat the land better, that'd be great. I'm working on that too. And then treating ourselves better.
Yeah.
Artist, like just like be as much as yourself as possible. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
don't worry about perception of it all.
Yeah, those are all of that is really good advice and good for us to think about. Yeah, so for anyone still watching, we're going to be having a listening party tomorrow night. We're going to listen to Hold On Up, and then we're going to listen to Iz's new album, Light Play, which right now it's not out officially until tomorrow, so you can just go on our Bandcamp and hear like the one of the songs. Psychoprobe Console is you can listen to right now, and you can pre-order it. um, and also, you can check out Qween Paz through our Bandcamp too, and then check out the rest of their songs. But Hold On Up is there, and yeah, hopefully you'll come out tomorrow. It's at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, later on today, I'm actually doing another interview with Burko in a little bit, and we're actually having a listening party tonight at 8:30 p.m. for it's the 3-year anniversary of Burko and I did a collaboration album called Merge, and we're going to be listening to that. And it's also we just had the anniversary for that, and then the anniversary it's also the 3-year anniversary of her song It Won't. And so that's like a little bit later this month, the anniversary, but we're going to be listening to that song. It's a really great song. Yeah, it's such a great song. Yeah, the bass on that song. But yeah, we're going to be listening to that tonight. So that's on our Discord. So gosh, we got that tonight and then tomorrow night. So if you haven't joined our Discord, the link is in our link tree in our bio. We just advise people to join before the actual start time because it's a public Discord, but we want to keep it safe. So we've got some rules for you to read when you come in, and then we ask people to do a little intro of themselves. Nothing big, just kind of like who you are, what your name is. Um, and then a moderator will let you into the rest of the server where we actually have a listening party. Because if you don't do the intro and be let in, you can only see a few of the channels that are like Grimalkin News and things like that. So to actually come to the listening party, you got to do that. So do that now if you want to come tonight. And definitely do it before before tomorrow so you can come to tomorrow's. And yeah, it was really great talking to you as always. And yeah, we'll be in touch soon. So I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, sweet.
All
Love
right, bye.